chat. There are several options. You can go through the PayPal link. If you don't have PayPal, we've made the option to donate through our Eventbrite, and we have that available until the 30th of this month, so please use that link as well. All right, without further ado, let's get started with our questions. Please feel free to type in your questions directly in the chat box. We will have our wonderful board members take a look and help us pick those questions, and you can also put your questions in the Padlet. The link will be provided in the chat box. Luna and Steve will answer these questions, so whatever we don't get to, your questions will be answered, so please do not be afraid to ask them. If we don't get to them before 9:30, I know that our beautiful friends, Steve and Aluna, will take the time to answer your questions. All right, Ms. Nifasan, would you like to hop on in and help me with the questions, a Q&A here?
Sure. Before we get started, could we just have Aluna say hello to everyone?
Oh,
First,
yes.
I want to say thank you so much, Aluna. We know that it's so early in Mt. Lao right now, so ขอบใจหลายๆ
สบายดีทุกคน Good morning from Vientiane and good evening to you.
Yes, definitely we want to say thank you ขอบใจหลายๆตื่นเช้าอุตส่าห์ตื่นมาแต่เช้าเนาะหากัน7 โมงเท่าไหร่ใกล้สิฮอด8 โมงเช้าเนาะ so we really appreciate you being here so early in the morning, Aluna, so thank you. So my name is Nifasan Supom. I am the president of the Lao Heritage Foundation, and I am so excited to have Aluna and Dr. Steve Owensep with us. And again, thank you, Dr. Steve Owensep, for giving us this opportunity to share your film with everyone. It was awesome, but that's just, you know, me. I always say awesome, but it's definitely a wonderful film. I actually captured some of the questions already that people had started asking, so I'm going to start with those, and either one of you guys can jump in. So one of the questions that was posted during the film was, it says, you know, Netflix has been, this one is from Sumali King. She said, Netflix has been featuring Asian movies, shows, and documentaries. Has Laos been able to tap into this kind of exposure, or do you think we're able to?
I'll just speak to it briefly, then I'll let Aluna speak more about it because she's on the ground in Vientiane. I know that they've started to shoot films again, and the productions are going in in Mt. Lao right now. I think they're getting back on track. But as far as getting exposure on an international stage, I think we still have some work to do. But we are making strides through folks like Lao New Wave Cinema. Those are the folks pushing things forward. They have a new series out with Toyota where they're doing a little mini series. So to get on an international platform, I think there's really one or two that have gone that far, which is Gulab's origin story is one that's actually on Amazon Prime. So maybe we'll let Aluna talk about what it's like on the ground there.
Somebody, can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
For the film industry in Laos. Mm-hmm. Okay, I've been following number of series and movies for the past 2-3 years. I have noticed that there are a lot of progress in terms of the editing technique and filming technique and all that. But to be honest, to get into the international level of showcase our art, like Steve said before, we need more to the center, the core value of the art that we're presenting out. I think this will make a difference to the viewers out there, and also to make our art more recognized by the eyes of the world. Yes.
Thanks, Luna. That was a good one.
So one of the kind of tagging along the same question, this one is from Arena. She says, on a general note, seeing these scenes make me go back to Laos, make me go back in the remembering the last time I was in Laos with Sumali and many. How can we support the Lao film industry and the Lao movies from the diaspora? How do we get access to Lao films?
So I think that's still a little bit of a challenge. You know, we're still not producing a large amount of movie grade films just yet, and I think the way that they distribute the film still has to be worked out, because if you're going to contain your films within Laos, the market's pretty small, right? So I think we probably need some collaborations, and to get to the question of supporting, I think one of the things that we need to do is to be able to pay for these films, because they need money in order to get these films. And it's not cheap to do films in Laos anymore. It's not like it was back 15, 20 years ago when you could make a film for $10,000 or $15,000. These budgets have grown considerably, as well as they should. If you want, you know, the big talent and the right talent, you're going to have to pay for it. So we're going to have to be comfortable with the idea of paying for quality. So maybe Aluna has something more to add to that.
Thank you. Yes, personally, I think we need supports from a number of sectors, the private sectors, the government sector. I always say we can learn so much from the Korean entertainment industry here. I mean, not just Laos. I mean, governments out there in general around the globe. We have seen the huge success, I would say, from the Korean entertainment industry, including music, films, and all that. I mean, we can all learn from that. The government can also help support to showcase our art at the you can help me with this, Steve, you know what I mean, right? I mean, of course, the film festivals around the world. And if we can have those information and link, you know, ourselves to the rest of the world, I'm sure that will encourage Lao filmmakers to be more active, you know, to be more excited about this showcase. Yes.
Right. So I think what Aluna was trying to get at also is the fact that for other film industries, like particularly like South Korea, they have the government backing in terms of dollars and support. So if they want to export their culture to share with the world, you know, they're paying for flights to go over there. They're paying for commercials. They're sending some of the best artists that represents the core values of the country. And if we had that from Laos, I think we could bring our arts to the next level.
And not just yes, exactly. And not just the art itself that will benefit us, also the tourism industry. I mean, how many of Laotians or even a lot of, you know, Asian people traveling to South Korea to see the actual location where they filmed that series? Do you know what I'm talking about? That's Winter Love Song series. Yeah.
Oh, right.
I think it's a big success in many ways, and as a great example.
Wow. So along that same line, we had a question from Mike Asanat Wongsai asking, what is the best way to support your music from the US? And Catherine Walker said ditto. We want to know, what can we do to support Lao music?
Thank you, my Ratnabong.
Especially yours.
Your name is very familiar. I would say right now I'm helping the young blood, the young artists these days. whether it's going to be from coaching them through singing contests, and not just with Pepsi, with other singing contests as well. I'm more than happy to be the middle guy here to help shaping and preserving our art through music. However, we have not had any concrete foundation to really get this moving. I mean, it can be a good opportunity for Mai and me or others to jump in and, you know, throw some ideas together, you know, especially to collaborate the Lao traditional music, which I have been trying. And, you know, I have been trying, Steve, for the past.
Yeah, for a long time.
Yeah. And it takes a lot of time and also budget to do this experiment on my own, and also to carry this belief that this beautiful mixture of traditional and modern can really turn out a unique sound. So yes, I mean, if we can have some ideas, you know, to collaborate, to even exchange, to send some artists over here to be trained over there, or vice versa. I mean, anything can make this, you know, move forward quicker.
Do you have like a website or places people can download your music, or is there like a company or somewhere that we
Yes.
access Lao music from? I guess that's how we're asking in terms of how to support.
Oh, you mean to buy my music, basically?
Yes.
I was thinking of the modern. Of course, you can Google Luna music, and the iTunes link will pop up. Simple as that.
Okay, so you have music on iTunes. Are there a lot of Lao artists that have music on iTunes as well? Or is that a good general practice?
Yes. Especially these days, considering the digital world, streaming is probably the main source of a lot of artists, the main source of income for a lot of artists. And I have also passed on this information to the local artists here, about how to get your music up there through this channel, the middle channel, because if you must know, iTunes, they're not yet totally recognized Laos. So we have to have this middle channel that we can send our music to.
We have a question from Lao'd. It says, "It's so wonderful. Questions for Aluna and other artists. I know this was touched on a little bit in the documentary, but as artists who use music and film as mediums of expression, to what extent are you thinking about the content of your songs, or are weary about government disapproval? Do you feel limited in any way?"
Is it my question?
So it's in short, feel like your art is being limited? Like, do you feel like you can't say certain things or express or do certain things? Do you feel limited by the government structure in terms of your self-expression as an artist in Laos?
I'm pretty sure there always more than one way to say things that you really mean to say about the terms and the concept on what I'm trying to say, and turned out really beautiful, and I'm quite happy with the result. Yes.
Steve, so that kind of goes back to the other question that Skip had asked earlier about pushbacks when you started filming this film, because, you know, from reading about the film, we know that it was filmed over a period of 10 years, which is a long, long time. You started, yes, it was a long time. But you started off in the earlier years when the country was first opened in 75 and then up to into the 80s. So what was that experience like? Was there a lot of pushback? How did you actually even get the permission to start filming? I mean, the country wasn't quite open yet at that time.
Right. So, I think it's one of those cases where you ask for forgiveness later, because we got a lot of this footage before. I think the majority of the footage really came about during the 2004 concert that's the first time I met Aluna, was during a rehearsal right before Christmas Day, right, Luna? It was right before Christmas Day, and I got a pass to go in and just film. I had my camera with me. I didn't see anybody else with a camera. We walked right in, and there was this shy person with a baseball cap on, with this different voice, and then I introduced myself. And this is where it's going to become interesting, because Aluna doesn't know that I'm going to do this. I'm going to share with you guys some behind the scenes pictures that we have never released publicly. And Aluna's seen it, but that was like 15 years ago. I don't think she's looked at it since. But Aluna, please forgive me. Again, this is another asking for forgive me to show the pictures. So I'm going to share my screen, and I got this ready this morning because I was like, how do we make this interesting, and how do we, put Aluna on the spot a little bit? So here we go. This is the behind the scenes pictures that for the world to see. This is.
See this poster, they didn't have my my artwork on, because I was the opening act.
Right.
I was just introduced by the indie record, the company, this record company. So yeah.
Yeah. So, and it was kind of new, right, Luna? Like we didn't really have large Lao concerts at that point. So then, this is when I was on a motorbike driving up Sunset to ITEC, Lao ITEC at the time. And look who this is right here.
Head on.
That's Sock Cells right there,
Mm.
from band Cells. And we were sharing just some footage that we had a little funny TV show back there.
Seal Talk.
Seal Talk, yeah.
The Seal Talk.
And that's for Saki. Saki is actually watching right now from his house, Aluna. So yeah, we have a lot of other people watching, like Noah and Pumi and all those crazy guys out there. But so yeah, we were showing them our little TV series there, and this is the first picture that I actually took.
And in your hand was my first album.
Yeah, that's right, the first CD, and look at us back then, 2004. Brother, I'm going to give you a plug for your book. Remember the book that you did?
Yeah, of course. I did.
Yeah.
I do.
So, there was really not that many people there. They were doing sound checks, and, they were on stage. This is Overdance, the group that came up with the song Hin Som, which is really popular. Back then, it was one of the more popular songs. But yeah, it was like the first big concert. I was just taking pictures left and right. I had no idea that it was going to be part of a documentary. I just got everything that I could. And then I came back. But earlier on the night of the actual concert, I went to Alexandra's house, Alexandra Bunsoy, to her house to get part of her interview. So part of the interviews you saw in the documentary was taken on this day. And I don't know what my luck is with like interviewing people, but there always is construction going on when I'm interviewing people, and there's like this large shovel. It was so loud next to her house. This was a concert. There were so many people. I had never seen such excitement. Luna, maybe you can talk about like the thirst that people had. It's just something new for them.
Yes, because of the popularity of the Hin Som by Overdance, back then, we had some crowds from Nong Khai and Udon crossing the Friendship Bridge to see this concert as well. And I remember there was so many people, and it was a really first huge concert in Vientiane. And of course, it's a collaboration of the Lao and the Thai artists together. And but we were so proud, the whole crew of Indie Record, to celebrate this success. Yes.
And as you're looking through, I mean, I had never seen metal detectors at any sort of concert in Laos at this point. It felt like you were going through the airport, right?
Uh-huh.
And it was funny, Luna, I didn't tell you this, but when I took the pictures, all these guys wanted to be in the picture, so they didn't do their job. Like, people were just walking through.
Okay.
So it's probably a security risk, and people are just running through. There's no tickets, right? There's no assigned seating. Lao people, they just sat wherever. And look at how many people were there. Do you remember that night, Luna, how you felt?
Of course, it was my first big concert, even though I was just the opening act for Overdance and also to the Thai artists. I was so excited, a bit nervous, but I was so happy to see this crowd. Yeah, I remember.
And there you are.
You were at the back of the stage, yeah.
Yeah, I was in the back taking pictures, and there you are.
Oh, and the side of the stage. Okay.
And do you guys want to see what they actually did backstage? I took a bunch of backstage pictures, and I made sure that it wasn't going to be too embarrassing because there was a lot of stuff back there that I took. So this is what backstage looked like.
We were all in red because it was Christmas.
And look at this face right here. He looks so happy. I forget, who is this?
Donna, I think, from Modern Dance.
And then this is all the wiring behind all that. And the reason why I showed this picture, the reason why I brought it up is because, you know, when you're creating history, it's always messy on the backside. It's never perfect. And, but that doesn't stop you from improvising. And, you know, a lot of people are a lot of things. And, you know, I think one of the things we can be proud of is that we're very creative and we have ingenuity and we make it happen. It's not always going to be pretty, but we did it that night, or they did it. I didn't do anything except for take pictures. So it's Aluna and all those pioneers. Aluna, anything else to add about that night? Anything else that maybe I don't even know, like anything that went on that would be interesting?
I think you capture pretty much everything, like the highlights. Yeah.
Wow. So you actually took a lot of pictures and film clips, not knowing that you would actually create this film, and then decided to put together and make it into a film. Is that? Okay.
Yeah.
No idea.
Yeah, we had no idea. And actually, I have so much footage that I did not put in. Like, there was a lot of interviews with other people, right, Luna? Like, you know, I don't want to mention their names because we didn't put them in. Wouldn't be right. But there's a lot of people that we talked to that did not make this particular cut. There's actually 3 versions of this film. One is for people in Laos, where we put all of the artists in. This is sort of the international version, where it's sort of like a middle ground. And then there's actually a shorter version for people that don't know a lot about Laos and their history. So there's actually 3 versions. And there's a lot of stuff that we didn't put in.
Wow. So how long is, if you actually, is the Lao version the longest version? How long is that version?
It's over an hour long.
Wow.
Yeah.
We do have more questions for you guys, of course. So there's, this one is for Aluna, and it's from Alina. She wrote a long thing. You can read about, but in short, we'll give you a short synopsis. She wants to know, are there new genres of music in Laos that are being created by the younger generation in Laos that is not inspired by traditional because she said she has come across a lot of new groups that are coming up all the time on YouTube and K-pop and all these kind of stuff. So is there, what's new and coming from Laos?
I would say recently I have been following this young group from Pak Se. If you guys have heard of the thing Say Chai Để Tay Mong, Steve, have you heard of this successful single?
Are you talking about Yuna บอก
Bubble Man อันนี้มันgroup ของ a brother and a friend together from Pak Se. The really hit singles would be อยากเป็นลูกเขย and ใส่ใจได้แต่มอง You can start googling them right now because they in terms of the number of YouTube views, they hit 30 million views on YouTube. Okay. And I just saw their performance yesterday. I was at this event and they were in Vientiane and performed naturally, beautifully, and I really admired this young group because music lyric of this group, they describe the beauty of the lifestyle of of Laotians in the rice field, simple and straightforward message to about อยากเป็นลูกเขย It's like I want to be your son-in-law because I fall in love with your daughter. I would take a good care of her. I'll cook for her. She can help my mom, and it's a wonderful message. Simple and I don't know. To me they're so pure, and they just be themselves and be the original. I would say they to me they're quite an original, and to me to become a successful artist it's important to be the original. So this group I would say they the young generation that I will keep focusing on, and if I can, if I have the chance to talk to them and hopefully we can inspire each other more. It's amazing their success so far. Yeah. ใส่ใจได้แต่มอง song I think it hits about 30 million views or more already, which is very hard for Lao artists to hit that number of views on YouTube, I would say. Yeah.
Wow, actually that kind of leads into the next question. That's actually that same question about being on YouTube. Just as, rewards YouTubers for having millions of subscribers. I haven't seen singers of many nationalities, including Thai with millions of subscribers, but I have not seen any Lao artists, but you just said that there was one.
Yeah.
Maybe is this something that needs to be discussed further and to develop? So that's also another avenue, right, for us to support, but also that also can generate income for the artists as well. So, wow, that's amazing. So actually, I kind of want to follow up on Alina's question about the new genre. Are there new genres of music that are coming up? You know, how they mix different things and they come up with brand new genres of music that the young groups of people, upcoming people are doing? Because I recently saw some stuff on YouTube, some groups from Luang Prabang, they're going back to the old days and they're actually using traditional music, but redoing a lot of the classics. So I thought that was interesting that groups are like that. But what have you noticed in terms of trends of music in Laos right now?
In terms of the genre, I think it's not easy to come up with a new genre. I would say, I've been trying, and I would say I have not seen a new genre coming up. But with the group that I mentioned, it's a mix of the a funky and a hip hop together in the slow jam kind of thing. I'm not sure if that will be considered a new genre for the moment, but I'm very impressed with the lyric. Yeah.
So how do you see the future of Lao music? Because I know, you know, we have the younger generation doing a lot of pop, hip hop, and just kind of finding their own way. But then there's also this resurgence of traditional music. I see a lot more groups of just young people doing lam and can again, and going back to Lao'd and Kim and all those stuff. So how do you see the future of Lao music? Where is it heading?
There's another group that I also noticed them is they call themselves Ting Noi Noi, probably the group that you mentioned from Luang Prabang. Or they have covered a lot of old traditional Lao songs with lanat and can and saw, or the traditional musical instruments. I mean, creativity with this will be the key, the important key. But it's also quite hard if you gonna put 100% of your time working on this, unless it's a career. I would say, unless it is a proper career that can, you know, pay for your living. I mean, a lot of our generation from 2004 artists, you call us the pioneers, right? I think a lot of us are falling out because we have other things to be working on as well. I mean, I'm still here because I would say I'm quite lucky that I have other income support for my life, but probably not a lot of artists will have that. So they have to go find another job, and so a lot of talented Lao artists just, you know, move forward with other things, other careers in their lives, and I don't blame them for that. But the future, I mean, maybe it's easier for this generation, like I'm talking about the digital generation, that they were born with it, like this young group, to hit 30 million views. I would say because it's in their generation, they relate to this digital easier for their generation compared to our generation, that we came out with no social media. There was no even Facebook at the time, right? 2004. So I would say if they have creativity plus their knowledge about social media, social commerce, this will help pushing their work forward faster and easier to the bigger, you know, audience compared to our generation, I would say. So
we are now at about 9:30, but there is one last question.
more questions.
From Ekala.
Yeah, let's keep this going.
And then we're gonna close for those people who would like to go after this last question. But we are going to stay on. Dr. Steve Arinsak and Aluna has agreed to stay on a little bit longer for those people who have other lingering questions or would like to ask their questions or would like to hang out and just kind of talk and chat for a little while. So we are going to hang out a little bit longer for those who would like to stay a little bit longer as well. If you are not familiar with Zoom, if you look at the bottom of your screen, there's a feature called chat. So we've been putting a bunch of on there as well. So you can also post your questions and comments. There's a place for you to do that as well if you need to leave. But there are some burning questions or some comments you would like to add. There's a Padlet that we just put on there as well. So I would like to ask the last question from Ekalat until more questions pop up. It says, could Aluna talk more about the competitions that she was part of? Are these means for exposures, income, or mentorships? Are there other avenues to develop Lao artists, especially outside of Vientiane? So I think he's talking about the Pepsi competition, the Lao Beer Lao competitions.
For those singing competitions, they, from what I noticed, they open the chance to every Laotian. I mean, from provinces to provinces, and I think they all have equal chance to come in and to showcase their talents. Hello.
Yeah, we're here.
Is
Go
that
ahead.
is that the question? Is that the answer that they're looking for? If the if the opportunity is enough out there for other young artists, yes.
Yeah, so I'm just curious, you know, the people, the artists that come to compete, what is your sense of, you know, why they come? Is it, do they feel like making music is a way for them to earn income? Are they, is there like a cash prize? Are they looking to win in order to get mentorship from you as a you know, as an artist yourself, or from other artists? Or is it
yeah, I would say just like many of us, we have our own reason to do things, right? Of course, they all those sort of needs and wants from the young kids. Some of them would like to be famous, or they think they can earn a lot of money, or they think it's a good experience. So why not win or lose? But every time that I have my team, when I coach them, because there will be 4 coaches, right? And each coach can have 3 members, but the winner will be only one. So the day one that I started, that I start coaching them, I will say to them that I ask them basically, I'll ask them that will you stop singing if you don't win this competition? That will be the question from Coach Aluna. I'm not sure what others will coach them, but I would say I don't just coach them to win. I really love to hear what they really want, and if they don't get what they want, would they stop this talent, this art in them? And it's always the question that I ask people whenever I did the audition way back when I was with Indie Record, because we had a number of young people coming in to do auditions, and I keep asking them that why are you here? It's important. I mean, I've been here in this industry for 15 years. There must be a good reason to stay this long, right? It can't just be because of the fame or the money, right? So yeah. Do I answer your question?
No, that definitely answered it. But is there also like is the prize, is it a cash prize, or is it like a contract? Do they win a contract? Or?
Yeah, of course. It's like any other competition. We have cash prize, the trophy, the contract with Indie Record for a year, or with Pepsi, or with whoever that's sponsoring that. I mean, this is the general rule for any competition, I would say.
And these competitions are all over the country, or it's just mostly in Vientiane there? Or?
Yes, it's all over the country, and they gather like the online as well. Like this year, because of the COVID, we had the virtual, whatever they call it. The people send the singing
Audition?
clips in, yeah.
Mm.
And we pick from that, and we gather the really the final round to sing live in the studio, and my team won, by the way. Something to be proud of.
Good job, Luna. Good job.
Thank you.
So at this point, I'm going to have Malik close out, and then we're going to continue with some more questions that we have so that we can respect everybody else's time. So if you'd like to leave, you could. So we're going to have the final words from Malik, kind of give you an update on how we are with our numbers and all that. So go ahead and take it away, Malik.
Great, thank you so much. I am just enjoying and taking notes here. But before we say goodbye formally, so you want to stay, please stay. We'll keep the lines open for another 15, 20 minutes. No more than that, right, Steve? Because we want to make sure that people on the East Coast can also sleep. But certainly, please stay on with us. Thank you so much to Miss Superstar Luna. Thank you for being with us. And to Dr. Steve Adensak, thank you for your commitment and all these years to make this happen so we can enjoy and appreciate and also support Lao music, Lao arts, Lao culture. We thank everybody who joined us tonight on the call for supporting LHF. We also thank our board members. This is not in my script, but the board members do an amazing job, and we want to give you, especially Sai and Nipasan, your heart, your energy, your passion. Thank you for all these years of your commitment. You are truly inspiring, and we really appreciate you so much. We also want to thank Dip Khao for providing a special menu for the film screening. So for those that are eating Dip Khao food, I'm hoping you enjoyed it because they're amazing. Thank you also to everyone who donated this evening to the Luang Prabang Summer Camp program. We are going to launch a poll, and then we'll come back and let you know how we did with our funds. Okay, so let's launch the poll and take just a few minutes here to answer those questions, if you will. Okay, just make sure that we've got everybody on here. Thank you, everybody, for participating. We really appreciate that. Okay, gonna end the poll now. Thank you for your participation. Everybody got a chance to answer that? Wonderful. Okay, let me stop. Okay, what we were able to do tonight, we were able to raise $2,160. So we are close to our $2,500 goal. Thank you for everyone who chipped in during this experience, and whatever you donated, it's so appreciated. We really, really appreciate the generosity. For those that continue to support us every year, oh my goodness, thank you so very much. If you did not, again, get a chance to get your questions answered, please add that to the Padlet. I think we can go ahead and add that link again, Nipasan, if you wouldn't mind, just so it's easy to find. And we'll make sure that we answer them. We'll also be, the questions will also be posted in the LHF page for all to view, the answers to those questions. And you can learn more about LHF through our Facebook and our website at www.laoheritagefoundation.org. Thanks again, everyone. Have a good night for those that want to dial and leave us for the rest of the weekend. And we'll be here for those that want to stay on for a few minutes. Thank you so much for your support.
Thank you, Molly.
Thank you. And we still have some more questions. I actually have a question from my son who couldn't make it tonight because he went on a sleepover and he wanted to make sure that I asked this question. So he actually posted it on the Padlet so that he could get his answers later. So my son is 12 years old and he was really excited to watch the film. His name is Arun. So I'm going to read his question from the Padlet. And it says, what was your favorite part about making this movie? So he wanted to know, is it fun to make a movie?
Well, fun. 13 years later, I think what makes it rewarding is just being able to share the story of like Aluna. I mean, I thought about who would anchor the story and who would sort of tell it right from beginning to end. And you're not going to find, or it's going to be very difficult to find somebody who's that articulate in Lao and in English that understands so many cultures around the world. She's traveled, she's lived in different places, she's a global citizen, right? So how are you going to be able, because you have to share this with an international audience, as well as preserving it for Lao people, because this is my gift to the Lao people, right? Because people like Aluna and those pioneers, they don't have the time to document their own history. They're too busy creating history. So it takes somebody else to sort of come in to sort of help that story to propel it and share it with the world. So I think it's rewarding is probably the better word over fun, because it does take a lot of hard work, because you could quit anytime, right? The artist could quit. I could have quit making a documentary. You have all this footage and you say, what am I going to do with this? There's 13 people that we interviewed, and each of them were many hours each. So how do you sit through and how do you pick? That was challenging. And like I said, this story started before I met my current wife. This is a story when I was single. It's followed me through getting married, having kids, becoming a professor. So it saw me grow up too. And having seen somebody like Aluna, who I've been close to these many years, and we talk, about various things offline, but just to see how she's grown up, I just couldn't be proud of her as a person. You really should understand that she's someone with a lot of integrity. So it's not, a lot of people know the outside and they see the posters and see all that, but it says, it really touches us in a special place when we think about who we spend our time with and who we connect ourselves with. And I'm, for one, I'm very proud to, to have some time with her and to have a, connection with somebody like Aluna.
I have another question from Wicked Sana, who's actually also another famous person. I guess she doesn't want to show herself today, but she did post the question. It says, you were in the US back in the 2005. This is for Luna. Lao female artist has toured the US as the pop artist. You and Alexandria, there were more Lao artists in Molam and Luke Tung came to tour in the US. Would you like to see a change in that? In the near future, perhaps bring more Lao pop artists to tour in the US, let's say L pop. I don't know what L pop is, Lao pop, I guess. You're muted. You have to unmute yourself, Aluna.
I muted myself. No reason, just that so many sounds, so I muted myself. Sabadi Akisana, first of all, I would like to say thank you for the opportunity. No, I see not
Doi.
the very first concert in US way back in 2005, you Seattle, no? And that
Yes.
was a wonderful experience for Aluna to fly all the way from Vientiane and then to perform ขอบใจที่ว่าให้โอกาสเนาะขอว่าเป็นภาษาลาว of course, I mean, after this COVID thing, we can start planning something for the L pop or Lao pop, or we can do the ML หมอลำ Molam Lao pop, why not? Because that's part of our music root, no? And me personally, I carried that idea with me to perform in Paris last year. Have I sent some photos to you, Steve? Last year performance in Paris.
No, I don't think I got that.
I did perform a little bit of Molam and Cannes. There were 2 concerts, one in Paris and another one in Lao'd. This is 5 hours from Paris. I had such a wonderful welcome from the French. Totally, but 98% crowd, they all French. And music is the, like we all said, universal language, no? And they had so much fun with Lam Salavan, me playing the can, and asked them to join the Lambong, the Salavan Tialong, and they also exchanged their the traditional dance from that area, Lao'd area. This is like quite up north of the of France, and it was a wonderful night of a cultural exchange, and I was so happy to see that result. It's like the music, the art is truly alive, แบบมันมีชีวิตชีวานะ and I'm very proud to be part of this, to help flourish. What's the term? To flourish, to make it มันบานนะ to preserve the
to
culture.
blossom, yeah, to make sure that the
I don't know
culture
how
blossoms.
to, I don't know how to put that feeling into words, even into Lao word. ดีใจนะเนาะ that we have the music language to communicate with them. And I also perform some of the French songs as well, and they're so happy that I learn their music, their art, the culture, and vice versa. I mean, I have this Ken Achan. He's American. Can I mention his name? Johnny Olsen. If you're watching this, ขอบใจเด้อ สอนเป่าแคนนำ No, he taught me some can lessons, and he's now back in the US, and I would like to say thank you. I mean, as a wonderful experience, exchange, and friendship, you know, regardless of wherever you're from, what culture you in, if you have an open mind, we can share it together, like internationally. Yeah. เลย so why not ด้วยกันนะ organize อีกเด้อ
Okay, so now you can come off mute if you'd like, and you can ask your questions and comments, because now there are very few of us.
Yeah, Kitsuna, come on out. You're kind of there. We see you. How's the ID?
where are you?
Now she's running to hide to fix her hair, maybe. Oh, Neil, you have to unmute yourself again so we can hear you. You're muted.
You, I'm so sorry. We're like, table's right here.
Oh, สวัสดี สวัสดี
I'm so proud of you guys. I mean, Dr. Steve and Luna. I mean, when Dick reached out to me several weeks ago telling me about this, I was like, oh my gosh, I would love to bring this here sometime. And you know, I'll be in contact with Dr. Steve. But this is wonderful. I remember when the film you start touring with the film, and with different theaters and stuff like that. I was like, oh my gosh, why isn't it here in Nashville? We're growing. There's an American community here. And especially now, the timing is great with everything going on with diversity, inclusion, and within the arts and everything that we're doing and representing us here in America, and for you to bring that story of this. I mean, earlier when the film started, I was like, oh my God, this is moving me. Hi, you know. And I did spend quite a little bit of my life there for 5 years. And back in, 98, and it's true, Aluna, you and many artists that at your age, I mean, to really step up to the plate and to the stage and say, this is what we want to do. And like you said, hit yang ganyak, right? Don't have to get permission. I mean, in the film, in the radio, and everything. And I'm so glad that you represent that this is your love, this is your life, and this is how you want to tell your story on an international stage. And that is just so moving. I started when I was a kid, like 10, 11 years old. We didn't have this back in the day here in the US. And so inspired by your story, and keep doing it. Please, I mean, help those young, I mean, I've been following those kids that you mentioned that's in Pakistan.
Yeah, I know, they're so talented.
They started out like,
I love them.
Like 1 million or 2 million, and I was like, and now it's like you said, it's 100-something million views.
Yeah.
Please help them wherever they need to go. They need someone with a voice, with a passion, and to really, give them that stage. It's timing. Our entertainment and Dr. Steve, for you to do the film, like you said, and back then, you do get questioned, and it's beautiful. It's definitely, this film, I think, needs to be shared more. Hopefully after the pandemic, this whole thing shuts down, hopefully you can get it to every theater you can, please.
Well, I mean,
the state of Tennessee, I want to make this little announcement. I sent you a message. I was just been chosen to be the first president of the National Asian American, National Association of Asian American Professionals here in the state of Tennessee. And we're gonna officially launch beginning of this year. So we're putting things together, and we're gonna, create leadership in different professions in the arts. And this is where I'm going to come to you, Dr. Steve. We're gonna bring it.
Okay. Well, we need to fly people like Aluna over when she feels
like it's safe. That's why I asked that question. Okay, that was then. So what do you think about now? Definitely, we should definitely tap into next year. Maybe we don't have to do a big grand thing. It can be something very small, and we build from there. Plant the seed, slowly pour the water, and grow the tree. I think we can do it. You're the pioneer there.
And any other person that would like to come off of mute to ask any questions for Luna or Steve? Like I said, our audience has shrunk, so we are now opening up the mics for everyone to invite everybody to kind of ask their own questions. No? Well, I would like to give an up.
Oh, hold on.
There's two. Sorry. Go ahead.
All right.
Steve, what is the next?
Okay, this is not so much a question as it is a comment. This YouTube thing, okay? I just want to be clear about views versus subscribers, and I put it in the group chat, but I don't know if you guys saw that. So it's one thing to have a lot of views, but it's another thing to have lots of subscribers, right? So YouTube really rewards the subscribers. And so my suggestion to the group is, well, to you, Aluna, and to all the singers in Laos, and that suggestion is to sort of maybe join hands more. Maybe you guys are already doing this in some form, but and as far as like maybe creating like a group YouTube account where like you post your videos, right? And try to get as many subscribers as you can to that one account, sort of so that you get more subscribers, and and when YouTube sends you checks, right, for posting their ads on your videos and things like that, then you can share the revenue with other people in that group. I mean, it's an idea, because in this day and age, people aren't really selling CDs anymore, right? So they have to rely on like live concerts. But then with COVID, that's not possible in many areas. So you know, yeah. So I'd like to make that clear to you guys that you know, if you join hands online and not just in person, I think that will really help.
เลยขอบใจ
Damdi, you had a question?
Yes, this is for Steve. Do you have a new project? What are you working on now?
Yeah, so I am working on a project now. So I mean, I can talk about it a little bit officially. Before I was under an NDA, it's with Disney. I serve as one of their consultants for Raya and the Last Dragon. And we're very close to it being done, hopefully released in theaters March of next year. I think we've confirmed a few of the voices for the story. Aquafina is one of the voices that I can, you know, that's been out there. There's a few other names that are going to be released pretty soon here. But yeah, so that's one that's really exciting because you know, it shares part of our culture. I mean, Southeast Asia broadly, but you know, I've tried to share with them the beauty of our culture, and hopefully that some of it makes it into the film. And some people here have helped me shape some of my thinking about Laos. People that I've known since 2004, maybe in December 2004, has helped me, influenced me in shaping some of the things in the film.
It's so awesome. So a Disney film now. I am a Disney geek. I've seen like so many, I've probably seen every animated film there is since I was little, and now that I'm this old, I'm still watching them, okay? My excuse is I have children, so I watch them with my children. So I'm like super duper excited about it. That is so awesome.
I mean,
the release date, like, is there a release date? Like,
so there is a release date. I'm not sure if it was released publicly, but I know that they've mentioned March out there in the world. So like, if you guys remember the movie Moana and Frozen and Big Hero 6, it's the same team that I'm working with that group. So we hope that people will receive it positively, but we put a lot of work into it, but can't wait to share it with everyone.
Do anybody else has any other questions or other comments? You could feel free to come off of mute and comment and question.
Yeah, I have one. So Steve and Aluna, do you have an idea for a future collaboration of your own together after this?
Singing, right?
Aluna.
Yes, we talked about this.
Okay, Aluna, I'll let you talk about this. So go ahead.
I don't know. Maybe I would say for now, but why not? I might jump into making a film.
Aluna, have you done any acting?
I run to my brother. Sorry?
Have you done any acting, Aluna?
No, never. No one ever
you
approached.
You have the persona to do that, though. I think that you.
No one ever approached me to have a role. No one. I will confirm today, regardless of whatever rumors are out there, that I was approached and I said no. I never heard any like a film role approaching to me.
Okay.
But of course, if I read the script and I find it very challenging, interesting, why not? I might jump in. Yes.
That's good to know, Steve.
Yeah. I just, you know, I'm gonna keep my mouth closed on this one for now.
I have a question for both of you. For a lot of the younger generation who are very gifted and talented and love music and film and are very creative, but aren't necessarily confident or sure that pursuing it fully is the thing for them to do, because maybe it's not safe, maybe it's not stable, maybe they can't make a living off of it. What advice would you give them to encourage them, first of all, to pursue it, But what's the best balance for them to acknowledge the fact that, you know, Aluna, you said it in the film, it's not easy. You don't make a whole bunch of money, especially in the beginning. So what advice or what suggestions would you offer our amazing creative youth?
Steve, would you like to go?
No,
oh,
that's you.
Okay.
That's for you.
I would say, yeah, I can share with them from my experience that of course it's not easy to take the first step. That's probably the toughest one, the first step, because there'd be questions, you know, going around. But if you have enough strong passion toward what you're doing, regardless of what you're doing, can be singing, can be filming, can be acting or modeling. I mean, you will go for it and you will make time for it. When I first started, I was still working for my family resort in Bang Vieng. I was juggling my time between Bang Vieng and Vientiane, which is 2.5 hour drive. It's not very far, but how would I balance the work? You see, when also my family, they depend on me also. And I also love to create my work, my art. Then time management, keep the balance is very important. And I mean, if you can't make a living out of what you're doing right now, my advice from my experience there, don't worry for now. I mean, you can always, I bump into a lot of people in my life that they will make time for it. I can raise an example of my uncle Tep Tawansuk. He's a great artist. He's a painter. And he told me he taught in the daytime, like he taught English or he taught at school, because he finished law school. And he taught in the daytime, and at night, while everyone else was sleeping, he would paint till dawn or till whenever. You know, that's a great example, I would say. If you have enough passion to what you're doing. And I would say right now, painting is his passion, and it has become his career for the past, I don't know, 30 something years. You see, I would say, yeah, that would be my sharing, my experience to give to the younger generation on whatever they're doing. Yeah. Everyone is so quiet. What's going on?
No, that's well said, Aluna. Well said. Yeah. I think we're all just overwhelmed by your power.
All right. Okay. No,
Yes,
I almost cried when I talked about my uncle, because I could feel that his passion inspired me a lot.
Yes, he's a great artist. I've seen some of his artwork, and I've tried
Yes.
to connect with him through the years as well. And we always end up missing each other, one or another. Trying to work with each other through the years, but we have never truly connected. So, but I've seen his.
He's in Canada, right?
Yes,
this is
he's
a
in
tape in
Canada.
Canada. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
we're
Yes.
familiar with his work.
Yeah, he's in Canada, and he's also in. It's like when I'm in Luang Prabang, he's back. When,
Yes.
when he's there and I'm here. And so he's always like, I always miss you. I said, I guess it's not meant to be. But well, it is 10 o'clock our time.
Well, I'm fine. I woke up now. So
You just woke up. And I'm ready to go to bed, right?
And Steve is fine. He skipped dinner.
He skipped dinner. I mean, poor Steve. Have you had dinner yet tonight?
No, it's fine. This is I'm getting full from this conversation. So
Yeah, I don't know how Trudy and the kids are feeling right now, though.
I'm sure they had a nice meal, but I'll ask them.
Look under the door.
Yeah.
So we could definitely go on and on and on and into late into the evening and night, but we do want to respect other people's time, and especially those of us who are on the East Coast of the way. So we want to thank everybody again for coming. It was amazing to see everyone again. There are so many people that we have not seen or touched base with for so long. If you came in earlier, you saw a bunch of us going like kids, like hi, because we haven't seen each other in so long, and seeing each other in this virtual space is heartwarming, and to see all the support tonight, and want to can't thank you enough, Aluna and Steve, for being with us, getting up.
Yeah, you really got to thank Aluna. Oh, and also, is someone going to make an announcement about?
Yes,
okay.
I am. We're going to get to that.
Okay, I'm just wondering.
Would you like to make the announcement?
No, Steve's birthday was 2 days ago.
Yeah, that's the announcement right there.
Yeah, so I was going to give everybody a final number. So we actually, since we actually did our announcement and said goodbye and good night, some more people did donate. Some more people did donate, and we ended up with $22.88. That's right. That's from Eventbrite and from PayPal. But then we also got some people sending us messages that they will be sending us checks through the mail. So the announcement is that we have made and actually exceeded our goal for the evening. So thank you so very much. And I have another announcement. I have another great news. So the total cost of the Lao'd project is $5,000, as we have mentioned in our post and also tonight. So the goal tonight was to raise $2,500. We were blessed today. Somebody, it was Adamdi's boss, heard about what we were doing with the kids in Lao'd and was really, really touched. And he says, you know what, if you guys raise that $2,500, I will match that other $2,500 so that the project would be fully funded. So as of right now, the Lao'd project is completely fully funded for this coming year. So we are so duper excited. So
can everybody unmute so you can scream and just unmute yourself?
Yeah.
And Dom D is a pretty new board member, so we're really lucky.
Yes, thank
and
you.
her boys have been members since they were very young, so that's great.
Yes. You know what? When you guys do that festival, you should invite that Aluna to your. That would be awesome. Circle. It's really
some more, Aluna.
Yeah, Aluna, I go to Lao'd every year, and I'm there every 3 weeks, and I get to sing and dance with 300 kids. It's a lot of fun. Every year.
Go up there and meet us.
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure, let me know.
Yeah.
Singing workshop for the kids.
Yes.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Yes. It's a lot of
and play can with me.
Oh, hey, Steve, a question just came up in our chat that was, we were talking about this on Facebook earlier. How can people watch the film who missed it tonight and who are coming in late?
You know what, let me think about that, and then I will provide a response to you, Skip, and then you can provide a public response after we talk about it privately. How about that?
Okay, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, so thank you, everyone. We are going to say good night. Is there any other last words that anybody want to say anything? So thank you so much again ขอบใจหลาย
ขอบใจ
Job, good job.
Thank you very much.
Good job, Aluna. Thank you so much. I owe
ขอบ
you
ใจ
one.
ขอบใจขอบใจ
ขอบใจ owe
We
you
owe you
lots.
both one or two.
Yeah, I owe you both lots and lots and lots.
เจยขอบใจขอบใจ
All right. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Luna. Bye,
Good night,
everyone.
Good night to you.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
There.
บ๊ายบาย
Thank you.